On this edition of Lexington Now, the American Rescue Plan Act, WORK-Lexington, and Nocturnal Animals at McConnell Springs. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of July 12, 2021. The city of Lexington has been given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity through the American Rescue Plan Act in the form of $120 million in federal funds, and they are looking for your input on how those funds could be used. We were there for the announcement.
Lexington expects to receive $120 million over 2 years from the American Rescue Plan Act funding. It is money to help us heal from COVID-19. It is money that can have a significant and lasting impact on our city. It is money that can help our city soar into a brighter future. As leaders, we all know how important it is for us to make wise choices. And today, I'm here to report that our decision-making process is off to a strong start. The council and the administration have worked together for several weeks to craft a transparent process that starts with extensive public input through an online survey, public meetings, and appearances at neighborhood gatherings through all the districts. I am planning town halls in July and August. This is a transparent process, a public process, a process that invites everyone to participate. So starting at 2 o'clock today, the process begins. The online survey goes live, and we begin several weeks of activities designed to gather public opinion on use of these monies.
Council has been interested in a public engagement process that would produce the full range of possible projects for our consideration so that we can compare and evaluate the ideas against one another on their merits. We expect, this is an understatement, we expect many worthwhile projects to be proposed, and we know our task will be challenging. So the top priority are projects that would have a direct impact on vulnerable populations and projects that would help people most severely affected by the pandemic. Next, projects that are budget related, those that produce savings or increased revenue and are one-time projects that have no ongoing costs. So here, we are looking to the long-term fiscal health of our community and being careful with these projects not to increase pressures on our ongoing budget. Listed as additional principles are projects that lead to economic opportunity and projects that have a positive impact on our social and physical infrastructure. So in sum, we have put together a process that we believe gives everybody an opportunity to participate. Now, we're calling on the community to bring us your ideas.
We will have paper copies available throughout the community at community centers, at the library, at many different locations so that people can pick them up. We'll have some places where people can get help filling them out. When people go on the website and they'll go to lexingtonky.gov, the timeline will be on there. And we do have, I believe the time for public input ends August 27th for the survey.
Any proposal will be voted up or down, and it takes a majority of council, 8 votes, to approve any project.
We have no idea what kind of ideas we'll get. We could have things that at first blush seem like, whoa, wait a minute. And then we vet through them and think about them, and they could be the most awesome, most impactful project we could ever do. That's what we're hoping, is for long-term impact.
It has the potential to be transformative. And what's exciting from my perspective, I'll speak for myself, is exactly what the mayor said also. And that is to see what this community can come up with that will really inspire and make a difference in the long run, and just make a huge difference for our community.
Lexington has officially opened its new Workforce Resource Center. WORK-Lexington's goal is to help anyone who is looking for work to find it. Here's more.
This historic Charles Young Center houses a lot of important programs. And today we're adding a new one, a Workforce Resource Center. WORK-Lexington, that's what we're calling it, WORK-Lexington, opens its doors in the East End neighborhood today with the goal of opening the door to employment to anyone looking for work. We want to make job training accessible and available right at the neighborhood level. We're starting here at Charles Young Center with opportunities for job training, job placement, and support services. The need for increased job training was identified by the Mayor's Commission on Racial Justice and Equality. This is the perfect time for workforce training as we come out of a pandemic that cost many people their jobs. As the program grows, we hope WORK-Lexington will expand to other neighborhood community centers. Another lesson we learned during the pandemic, the importance of partnerships, is also part of WORK-Lexington, which is initially bringing together workforce partners who will form a one-stop shop for job training.
About this time a year ago, we were right down the street doing a ribbon cutting for the Legacy Trail. And in my comments at that time, I stated that the city has a commitment to this neighborhood and this community to continue to work to stabilize this neighborhood and provide resources that not only beautify this community, but also improve quality of life. And I think this initiative here at the Charles Young Center is one of those components that can help do that for this neighborhood and for the people that live in this community. I'm excited to see what information we learn and what steps we can take to further grow this initiative in this community, in this city. And I'm excited for all the neighbors and the benefits that it will provide in the coming weeks.
We, along with other participating organizations, will be providing things like soft skills training, training in fiber optics and cabling, Microsoft Word, basic computer skills, job search, skill building classes, as well as education, all of which help families in this community to thrive as they seek towards self-sufficiency. So the Charles Young Workforce Resource Center is where need and access and opportunity all come together.
United Way's Waypoint Center in like will also serve as a symbol of hope, a symbol of help, but particularly one that will offer a one-stop resource to help improve some of the basic needs and more immediate needs of the community, to address so many complex challenges of improving economic mobility and the overall wellness and health of families living here in the East End.
I have made mistakes in the past, and sometimes people need somebody or organizations to help you along the way, to help you find jobs, push you, train you, help you with resumes that change, it seems like every year they change. And they set up job interviews to help you out. Lexington Rescue Mission helped me with that. They got me to where I'm at today.
My name is Nathan Brown. I'm the owner of Old World Timber, and I just wanted to briefly say how important it is from an employer standpoint that we have a partner and a partnership with an organization like the Lexington Rescue Mission, because it is virtually impossible for employers to find high-quality employees these days, and unfortunately a lot of companies and businesses have policies that say if you do have a record, a criminal background, or have struggled with addiction, that kind of counts you out. And I'm very proud to say that at Old World Timber and with our partnership with Lexington Rescue, we have been very successful, and I can not take any of that credit from the company's standpoint because we could not do what we do without them. But I am very proud to say that it's either 22 or 23 of our 36 employees actually have come through the Lexington Rescue Mission.
For more information, visit lexingtonky.gov/lexwork. When we come back, Nocturnal Animals at McConnell Springs. Welcome back to Lexington Now. It's time for this week's edition of Wildlife at McConnell Springs. Stephen Rogers talks nocturnal animals.
My name's Stephen Rogers. I'm Recreation Manager. I've worked at McConnell Springs for 7 years now. We see more evidence of raccoons than we actually see the raccoon. So raccoon are nocturnal, so during the day we don't see them unless we spot one in a tree or unless one is injured or sick. So typically most visitors don't see them if they come to the park throughout the day. In the evening time when the sun's starting to set, the raccoon will come out, and I always joke that the raccoons kind of have their own routine. They'll start around our wetland pond, they'll get a drink of water, and then usually by the end of the evening they'll make their way up to our education center and check the trash cans just to see if there's a leftover sandwich or anything like that. But we know we have a pretty good raccoon population. I've seen several together before, and we see a lot of evidence of the raccoon. Two species of owl that I've seen at McConnell Springs is a great horned owl, which is our largest species, and then an eastern screech owl. So during an owl prowl program one night, we actually were able to get a screech owl to call back to us. And on one very interesting day, I got to see a great horned owl that was being pushed out of the park by a couple of crows. So I actually got to see it during the day. But those are the only two species that I've identified or that I've seen at the park. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have a barred owl that passed through occasionally though. A lot of bats in the park, believe it or not. So most people don't see the bats since they're here during the day, but if you come out right at dusk as the sun's setting, then you're gonna see a lot of bats flying around. We had a couple of surveys and studies done at McConnell Springs to try to get a sense of the bat population, and through an acoustic survey, 12 species of bats were surveyed. One of the species was the endangered Indiana bat. Another species that was identified at that time was the northern long-eared bat, which is considered threatened now. It didn't make it onto the endangered species list, but it is considered threatened. And we've had a couple of interesting evenings where biologists have put nets up and they've actually caught bats in hand and recorded their information. We had 47 bats in one evening that were captured at McConnell Springs. So our bat population is really healthy, which is great because bats can eat thousands of insects in one evening, and mostly what they're going to eat are mosquitoes, so they're actually really beneficial. The bats that we have in Kentucky are all insectivores, so they're going to eat insects as they're flying around. They're not vampires, they don't suck your blood, so bats are actually really good to have around. I would never recommend picking a bat up, of course. I wouldn't recommend picking up any wild animal, but the bats that you see, if you have one flying around your house, they're actually doing you some favors by eating mosquitoes and other insects that can be harmful. So we regularly have programs that focus on the wildlife in McConnell Springs. We'll focus on different animals and different species of animals and wildlife in the park because it's so abundant here, and it's one of the more interesting topics that people want to know about. And so that's what we typically try to focus on and make sure that we're teaching people about what's going on at that specific time of the year as far as the wildlife goes. For more information about the park that you may want to find about the wildlife, you can check out lexingtonky.gov and the McConnell Springs page. And then the Friends of McConnell Springs website has some really good, interesting information about the wildlife. And I would recommend people check out the McConnell Springs Flickr page. We have some beautiful shots on our Flickr page. So if you just search McConnell Springs Flickr, there's some beautiful shots of plants, wildlife, and even some of the events here at the park.
The Humane Society needs your help. The pandemic has contributed to a surplus in creatures that need a home. We spoke with Ashley Hammond about finding the next member of your family.
In your darkest hour, did you know I'd finally come? The past is done and gone. Now we're going home to make a brand new start.
Lexington Humane Society, each year we care for thousands of animals. Over 5,000 animals come to us looking for homes. We always have dogs, cats. Right now we have lots of kittens and we have some puppies as well. Super, super cute. But during the summer months, we do have a lot more animals than we have typically throughout the normal year. So right now we're caring for almost 500 animals, and that's pretty typical during the summer. However, this year it's been a lot more difficult for pet owners to provide medical care for their pets. So we are seeing a lot of owners surrendering their animals and turning them in. So the Lexington Humane Society takes on the cost and the care and all of the medical care for the animals that come in that need that extra TLC. Not only do we have dogs and cats, sometimes we have chickens and we have pigs right now, pet pigs and pet chickens. So lots and lots of animals to choose from. We have everything you're looking for. I know we also have rabbits, we have guinea pigs, we had a little mouse last week named Yeti. She is so cute. So we have all kinds of animals. So if anyone is interested in adopting from the Lexington Humane Society, we have lots of animals available. Check out our website at adoptlove.net. Being able to foster or adopt an animal is going to help us immensely, as well as donate your time and your money. All of the animals here rely on Lexington Humane Society, and we rely on our community to help us take care of these guys. Over 5,000 animals every single year, and especially during the summer months. Visit Lexington Humane if you are interested in adding to your family. We have hundreds of animals available for adoption. If you are maybe not ready to make that full-time commitment, check out our foster care program. It is so beneficial for the dogs, especially the adult dogs in our care, to get into foster homes and get a little bit more enrichment instead of being on the adoption floor 24/7. So visit our website, adoptlove.net, for all of the information on how you can get involved. So not only do we have our foster care program and our adoptions program, we're slowly integrating our volunteers back into the mix now. And we have them covering our front door. We have them helping with pet assistance. We have our volunteers come in and they're helping us at the front door. They're helping us enrich the cats, spend some time with the animals, lots of wonderful things for them to help out with. So not only do we have foster, volunteer, and adoptions, but we also have our training program for some of our dogs here. Some of them just get really restless on the floor. If you are in a kennel 24/7, you want to get some time out of the kennel and you become a little restless. So to keep these guys happy and healthy, we have an enrichment program called Trainable that we are able to use some funds and use some of the donations that we've received and purchase items or use common household items like a muffin pan, put little treats in the muffin tin and put a baseball in those muffin tin or a tennis ball. That is an activity that dogs can do for 20-30 minutes. It'll keep their mind thinking, keeps them very happy, it keeps them enriched and keeps them thinking, so where they don't get I have a very restless puppy. It keeps them thinking and it keeps them happy so they don't get restless in their kennel. We also have a program called Project Perfect for our cats, and this program allows our cats to have a couple of free roaming areas. We give them a little dollop of wet food each day, and through lots of research and studies, we've been able to find ways to enrich the lives of the felines in our care over the years. So lots of programs, lots of ways to benefit the animals. If you have a specific program you're interested in, like our spay-neuter program or our foster program or volunteering, please let us know. We would be happy to direct you in volunteer services you can do for those programs or financial ways that you can help support the animals.
Many urban county government meetings are returning to in-person, but many are still happening virtually. We bring most of those meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. And we continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site. including testing and vaccination sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.